Hello there, YouTube friends, and welcome to the first of several videos in my new Decorate With Me office series. Over the next few weeks, I will be taking you along with me step by step as I finally decorate my office. And in today's video, I'm sharing how I transformed this absolutely stunning half moon desk that I found on Craigslist. When I first decided I wanted to do a half moon desk in the office, I searched high and low. I couldn't find one anywhere. And I started calling around to some master carpenters to see how much it would cost to get a piece like this done. And they all wanted at least $3,800, which just was not in the budget for my office. So I stumbled upon this piece on Craigslist, which was a score for $99. So I envision white, I envision glam, even though it's got a lot of French Provençal going on, but I want to glam it up a little bit. So I'm gonna add a really pretty champagne pearl finish to it and see if we can make it do what I'd like to make it do. So I'll show you step by step. First, I'm gonna give it a nice clean with a little soap and water and vinegar. And then I'm going to start with the chalk paint. There were only a couple of very minor bumps and bruises on this desk in its original state. It really is just a lovely piece, but it was too dark, so I decided that I was going to paint. So there were all these beautiful details on the legs that I thought would just be gorgeous to bring out by highlighting it with a couple of different paint colors. There are also 3 drawers, which will be very convenient for me from a functionality standpoint. I discovered this product, plastic wood, when I refinished the buffet in our dining room, and I swear by it. It really does a fantastic job at filling in holes and really even molding. You can shape it to the shape of your desk. So I also used it on the legs where there were some dings, and then wiped everything down and got it ready for paint. And I'll be sure to put an Amazon affiliate link in the description box below for you for all the products that I'm using, including this Valspar chalky paint. I used the color Kid Gloves, which is basically the whitest color that they have available. And once I was done filling in all of the bumps and bruises and cleaning the table, I got right to work using really nice, long, even strokes going in different directions for each layer. And I will say, make sure you buy a nice chalk paint brush. The one that I purchased was a little bit cheaper and it shed a lot, so I had to go through and scrape out little brush bristles as I went along. So just make sure you keep an eye out for that when you're selecting your brush. And if you've been following for a while, and you know I like to always try to include the girls whenever I can on my projects for home improvement. And so the Prima got underneath the table for me, places that were tough for me to reach. And this is what the table looked like after the first application. Okay, so I ended up applying a total of 5 coats of chalk paint on the desk, and it's curing right now. I just finished the legs. And so next I want to give it some character because the chalk paint is really flat. And so I have some leftover Ralph Lauren metallic that I've used in the guest room and my daughter's room. You guys have seen that. It's in golden buttermilk. So I am going to line the ribbon of the desk with that. And then I'm going to finish things off with this Pearl Effects champagne pearl. It's a really beautiful finish that's just gonna give it like a pearl effect. So it's gonna look very glam, and I'm really excited about it. So I'm gonna show you guys what I do with this next. One thing that I've come to love with painting pieces of furniture is how creative you can get. Originally, I had planned to leave this table a very stark white, but as I looked at it after we brought it home, I realized that it just needed a little more because it had so much character. And so I love the idea of lining it with the buttermilk Ralph Lauren color that I just mentioned, and it turned out really beautiful. Next, it was time to apply the general finishes, Pearl Effects in Champagne Pearl. You want to make sure you mix it up really well before you use it because all of the champagne part falls down to the bottom, so you've got to give it a really good mix first. And because I was applying the Pearl Effects as more of a glaze and not a paint, I mixed it half and half. So I did 1 part Pearl Effects with 1 part of a high performance polyurethane water-based wax in a satin finish. And that helped it to dry a lot faster and gave it some protection. It's really tough to capture the beauty of this finish in the garage because the sun is just shining in the wrong way, but hopefully you can see some of the shimmer in this shot. And then once I get it moved into the office, I'm sure you'll be able to see it even better, but it is so beautiful. It looks like a giant pearl sitting in my office. And here is one more attempt at showing you the finished product. I couldn't be happier with the way everything turned out. I ended up putting 2 coats of the Pearl Effects on as a glaze. Here's a quick close-up of how the legs turned out. Next up, I'm moving the desk into the office, obviously, and next we are going to pick out some paint and do something creative on the office ceiling. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please stay tuned to Instagram for more images, and I'll be back next week with video number 2 in the series. As always, and until next time, I'm wishing you guys much love and a peace that passes all understanding.